Now we're live. So it's nice to have you here. By the way, it's really cool. I haven't done an interview on this channel yet, so you're the first one. So congrats on that. They,
Oh, my pleasure. Nice to be here.
I'm really happy you're the first one too because instead of interviewing somebody from like one game, you you represent an entire new way of kind of owning games, building games, having games online. Maybe you should say something about that. Just introduce Isotopic a little bit. But I'm a big fan already, so
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for having me. It's my honor to be the first kind of person here on this good series of live streams, I suppose, if you plan to continue this.
oh yeah.
So a few words about me. First of all, hi, my name is Alex. I'm a co-founder at Isotopic, and we are basically building a platform, a new game store where game developers can go to and they can publish their games. We're talking about games across all different genres as well as all different platforms, as the game store is cross-platform. So we have from PC, desktop, Windows, Linux, Mac, even mobile and even VR games. And the new concept at Isotopic is that when you go to buy a game, you get a tokenized license which is on the blockchain, and that unlocks the possibility where instead of buying a game, playing for whatever amount of time and then having it sit in your library with no way of getting your money back, you can now send that game to a friend. You could trade it, you could resell it, or otherwise repurpose it, sort of like with CDs back in the day.
Mm. Yeah, I remember when you had games with like 6 DVDs or whatever. You had to install
Yeah,
each part, and it's like insert the next CD, and you put the wrong one in, then you had to take it out, put the right one in, and but what was great about those is you could lend your game to somebody, and you can't do that anymore. Even with the kind of family settings, you can add somebody to your family on some of these platforms, but you can't really share the game with the 100% of the same level of playability. That doesn't exist out there right now. So Isotopic doing this is really cool. And also, one of the things I think about is I have this huge library of games, but how can I like give it to somebody else? Say something happens to me and I can't play games anymore. I have a car accident or something. I'm paralyzed. What am I going to do with like these thousands of dollars of games?
yeah.
I
Well,
can't give them to
that's
my
an
daughter,
extreme
right?
scenario.
So like
That's a
this is
sort of
like
extreme
nightmare
scenario.
scenario, right? But I think web and like cloud storage and all these different things are so recent that we haven't thought about what do you do with all these digital things that you bought if you die? Like, what can you pass it on to the next generation or not? And I see isotopic as a really good method of being able to delegate things to people and sending it out. So I really like the
Yeah, for sure.
tokenization aspect. It's like a
Well,
very like niche thing to think about and very exceptional, unusual thing to think about. But I've been thinking about that for years when it comes to games. It's like, how can I give this to somebody else if anything happens to me? I can't. So yeah, just a
yeah,
very
well,
strange.
that's a sort of extreme scenario
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about that there,
of
but
course. Hopefully it
even
doesn't
like
happen anytime soon. But
yeah,
like,
but even now, if I, for example, go into my Steam library, I have around 30 or 40 games that I've bought throughout the past
yeah,
couple of years, and a lot of them are just sitting there and with the possibility of me never playing them again.
and you
And
can't
it would
sell
be really
them. You
cool.
can, yeah,
Yeah, it would be real cool if I could somehow even trade those games and maybe get some
yeah, something you would play.
other indie games, something that I can try out.
Yeah, of course. And they're no matter how old a game is, there's still people that are interested in playing it. So, being it became very difficult to find certain games after maybe 10 years after their release because the community had already bought up all the copies, and then there was just nowhere to find them anymore. I remember Cossacks Back to War, for example, was really hard to find. It's a very like niche game as well. It's kind of an Age of Empires competitor at the time. It was really hard to find, and something like that would have been great. But there was no way to connect with people either to to buy and sell them even in CD or DVD form. Yeah. And you guys also make your own games as well, on top of hosting other games. How many games do you have on Isotopic?
At the moment, we are looking at 218 games live,
Wow.
and most of these are on PC for Windows. We have some on mobile and even a few for VR,
Any for Linux or
as well as
Mac?
a lot of the PC ones do have versions for Linux and Mac as well, but not all of them. The majority is plain Windows.
Okay, that makes sense. That's where the market is at the moment. That makes sense. But that's really cool that you have so many different options. And we were talking about VR right before, actually. You guys are working on a VR game. If you want to talk about that real quick.
Yeah, it's called Lepton's VR. It's basically um, if it's going to be free to play, you just hop on and you get some weapons, and you're placed into a map with 5 or 6 other people, and your purpose is to basically kill them all, you know. So you have from melee to ranged, as well as magic combat, different abilities, and all items are basically balanced to not have that pay to win mechanic active, so that anyone can just hop on, and it's based on skill rather than what you have. And then, of course, on top of that, we have different cosmetics and typical things like that.
So it's a last man standing kind of multiplayer game, in a
Yeah,
sense.
there would be different game modes. Like you'd have based on score for whenever you kill someone, or even like you said, last man standing.
Cool. That sounds fun. I'll have to check that out when it comes out. So what were your goals for 2023? Do you think you achieved them? So I think the last time we talked, you had like 160 games or something like that.
Maybe less actually.
Like it's
Well,
been pretty phenomenal the amount of onboarding games. Like what were your goals?
the original roadmap for this project actually, at this point, we would have much less than we currently have in terms of not only traction but also products that are out. Like uh, our original goal was to bootstrap the project with funding so that we can launch everything and do things like marketing. But we decided to not wait because at these times where the market is sort of going down, the best strategy is to keep building and prepare for whenever the market recovers. So that's exactly what we did, and 2023 was a very big year. We actually launched both the things like the client. Um, we did a lot of updates to the store. We started supporting paid games, and we had the first version of the paying system with the NFT licenses. And we even launched a platform called Isotopic Shorts, which is sort of like TikTok or Instagram Reels, where the developer can post videos of their game, and you just go to that website and you get a feed of different gameplay videos, tutorials, how-to guides, and you can basically discover new games.
So the platform wasn't even live until 2023.
The basic game store launched on 2022, late November, I believe. Back then, we only supported web games.
So in a year, you
So
went from starting to over 200 games.
yeah, I think we were at around 50 or 60 games when 2023 started.
That's impressive. That's really impressive. I didn't realize how quickly you'd grown. Even the first time we had a chance to talk. That's really good. And the user base is growing too pretty steadily, I would imagine, as the games that they're interested in are on the platform.
Yeah, that's the major catalyst there. The more variety we have, especially with good games and higher end games, the more traffic comes to the page to play all of these.
Awesome. So, do you have a specific kind of game you personally prefer, or anything you like to play yourself,
From the ones we have on the platform,
or just in general, like a type of game you prefer?
So personally, from the sort of high-end games that are out there, I am a Rocket League player. Don't know if you are familiar. Used to
I'm
be,
familiar. Yeah.
yeah. At my peak, I was Grand Champion 2, which is 2 ranks away from the top. So I've spent quite a lot of time playing that game.
I could
Um,
imagine. I wouldn't stand a chance against you. I think I played Rocket League twice.
yeah.
I
But
had to reinstall Windows or something afterwards, so I just didn't install it again after
you
that.
gave up.
Yeah, I just had other things going on. I was busy with survival or something, probably.
Yeah,
IRL.
same thing here, to be honest. I've sort of stopped playing for quite a while now. But yeah, I do enjoy some competitive gameplay occasionally. And also I love exploration games like No Man's Sky is a good one.
I
I
heard I
think
saw the initial release and everybody being angry with it, and then I saw people loving the game later. But I just never had a chance to try No Man's Sky out.
yeah, I mean No Man's Sky serves as a amazing example of what happens when you keep going and not giving up. So the game when it released was at a very bad um, state. No one enjoyed it. All the reviews were negative, and
I
throughout
remember
these
that.
years they have kept pushing and pushing new updates, new things. Like it's a completely different game now than it used to be,
I
and
remember
the
people
community.
saying they never wanted to talk about No Man's Sky, and then
Yeah,
people saying No Man's Sky is one of the best games I've ever played. Just in the like 2 years later, this change came about, and from the
yeah.
outside, it was very impressive to see that. I was just kind of surprised. So you did you play it when it first came out, and then later as well, or
I'll say thankfully no. I
okay,
read the
yeah. So
reviews
you didn't
and
have the negative
yeah,
feelings about it. You only played it when it was good.
yeah,
Nice.
and the good thing with keeping up with adding new features and things like that is that I keep returning to play whenever they add new things. Like it's not something that I play every day or every week even, but when I see a new release, I always like to jump back in and see
Take a
what
look.
it's
Yeah.
about.
Have you ever played something like Space Engineers or?
I've heard of it, but not played myself.
Okay, because I played that a lot more, so I know that better. But I was going to ask you if they were similar, if you knew the two, but I can't since you haven't seemed to have much experience with it.
From my knowledge, they do have some similarities, but No Man's Sky is a lot more focused on the actual exploration of like the universe that the game is in.
It's more about discovering new places and new things, and Space Engineers is more focused on survival and mechanics about like oxygen and things like that, I guess.
Yeah, well, survival is a big part of No Man's Sky at the early stage, but then it becomes more about exploring things and building your base, things like that.
You make me want to try it out sometime. So I'll have to do that
Yep.
at some point.
Highly recommended.
Awesome, good to know. I like getting recommendations for games that people enjoy. Plus, I should try out soccer with cars is what I call it all the time. I should jump into that again sometime. I played Fall Guys recently, where you have these kind of they barely walk. These guys that walk around, and then you have one with soccer balls where you have to jump at them to get them to move and get into the other teams, and it's very slow and awkward. Whereas there are obviously much better games like the one that you have a lot of experience with. So yeah, do you want to jump in and play some of the demo you sent over for the one of the games you guys have? It's
Yeah, sure. So,
Bloody Winter. Okay, I'll launch and then you can explain to me how we can set up a multiplayer of this.
yeah.
I'll launch it as a guest. Would you like to host or would you like me to host?
You can host, and then I'll just click join in.
Quick lower music volume so I can hear you. Alright. Alright. So there's only one map for now, correct? Max player 6, room time limit, sure. 1,000 kills might be a bit much if it's just the two of us. We'll see what happens. And can we be other teams? I see friendly fire as a thing.
No, there's only free for all.
Okay, at the moment. That makes sense. So it'd be, I can change the room name. Yeah, I'll just call the room live stream. That way it'll be easy to find.
Yeah, just. Oh, I see it already.
Oh, there you are. Oh, it's cool. You can kick people. You can look at different things. Okay. Even in the demo. Kind of the multiplayer thing. You're waiting for a friend and somebody you've never seen before jumps in. Ooh.
Yeah.
So I have an Azerty keyboard like for French language. I wonder if it's gonna be QWERTY. I'll switch. There we go.
So this game was built for two reasons. One of them was to have something we can jump on and play with the community, which has happened a lot, and that's how I've built my skills, which I'll show you in a minute. And the other one was if you go towards the center of the map, there's this house or whatever you want to call it, and you might notice some advertisements on it.
On it? Like on the outside?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, place your advert clear channel. Oh, so that's how you're planning on monetizing your games, having some ads in them and then making them free to play?
Yeah, so not really. We actually are working on a solution to basically create 3D in-game advertisements. We are partnered with another project on that as well. And the goal is to stop these on-screen ads that you get on mobile games that make them basically unplayable. Okay, you got me there.
I got lucky. I saw you running through the woods. An ambush.
You're lucky. I'm talking about things, and
otherwise you wouldn't have. You were talking about the house while I was in it, so I was able to show it while you were talking about it. So I was like, oh, okay. I got extremely lucky. Oh, you can see... Oh, no. I have red footprints now. So you can see where I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's cool. So you're partnering with these guys for advertisements in games. And are you planning on using that for the VR game?
Probably. But the goal is to have a plug-and-play solution for developers.
Oh, where is it? Ooh. Nice. Well done. I didn't even know where you were. Until the second shot, I couldn't even see where you were. So now you have red footprints, right? It's only when you kill another player?
It's when you've taken damage.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. One shot. Yikes.
Well, you're playing with a developer.
Yeah, I know. But it was still impressive that at that range with the shotgun, you took me out with one shot.
Yeah, it actually has a lot of range, so don't be mistaken.
Yeah, I was expecting to have to get closer, because it's a shotgun and it's not. Oof, that was close. I got the lucky first shot earlier, but I don't think I'm gonna get another one.
Yeah, I guess the CSGO skills are not transferring well.
Nah.
Okay, you got me there.
Okay, I got lucky. But yeah, I don't think CSGO skills help much in this specific. Oh, there's a ladder. No, it looked like a ladder. No. Oof. I actually find it really fun to play with a developer because then there are things that you might notice playing a game that you helped build that somebody else wouldn't, and things that I might notice that you wouldn't. Because like being part of the process. By the way, whoa, what are these flowers? Like, what did you choose for these flowers?
Flowers.
Ow.
I don't know.
What was the thought process for some of these assets actually, like these trees? And I mean, the trees are really spooky, and the kind of the dark like this adds to the.
Yeah, well, the game as a serving as a demo is basically using a lot of free assets that we've got, but we've basically taken a lot of things and put them together and just changed the mechanics of the game. So
like
this is not really something that will focus on doing marketing for. Sorry about that. By the way, it was purely muscle memory. I had to my insights.
You're like, oh no, there's a player right there. I don't even feel bad about that one. I was just standing there, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, okay. I like your level of wind is something I look at in games now, because I've played games that were so glitched, it looked like the trees were going to fly away.
Yeah.
So there's no crouching or any jump. Oh, there's jumping.
Should be control for crouch, or control? I might have changed the button on mine. Is it C for you maybe?
Yes, it's C. Okay.
Yeah, you can change that in the settings. But
so if you crouch like in the grass, it makes you harder to see. I guess that's one of the reasons for that being in here, right?
Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Oh, okay. The timing on saying that.
Exactly when you said that, I already have it in mind.
You had me in your sights. You just took me out. Oh, that was great. You're like, I wouldn't be so sure about that. I was like, that's ominous. There's a reason why it's up. Why are there red eyes in the sky sometimes? Is that...
So, the theme of the game is sort of for it to be, to keep you on edge, and that's what those are. To sort of scare you a little bit, maybe have you look at them, thinking they are an enemy.
It worked. I jumped IRL and in the game. I was like, oh no, it's the spooky cat from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. You know, there's actually a funny story here at the office. When we were making the game, John, the other co-founder, who is right here actually,
oh, nice.
on the shot, he had the idea of adding a bear, like a monster bear in the woods that can sometimes like sort of sweep in and attack you.
Oh, dude, that would be absolutely scary.
Yeah, but
that's
we chose not to do that.
Maybe.
Yeah. He's still mad that we didn't go that way.
Oh, sorry. Opening old wounds and stuff.
Yeah.
I like the way you guys set up some like fallen trees.
Where are you? Well,
I told you where I was. Oh, I think the trees block everything.
Yep. I put some colliders there.
I can barely walk. I missed you completely. My mouse was like about 2 meters to the right.
Yeah, I think the CSGO skills definitely do not transfer at all.
I'm having a lot of fun though, regardless. CSGO.
You also have a knife.
I was never okay. So any of my friends will tell you I was never good at CS:GO. My reflexes are too slow. So when we would play, they would always be like 5 ranks above me or something. I'm not the best FPS player.
Okay, that was close.
I have 9 health. you did hit me. I just want to point that out. Everything is red tinted right now. Oh,
Did I get you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we got
that
each other. We traded. Nice. You were rushing me with a knife, and I was shooting, and I still couldn't.
Oh, well, that's a bug. It just spawned right behind you.
Yeah, that was scary. Hello. Do you have only one kind of knife attack, or two? Okay, yeah, you don't have
all
backstab
are the
or
same.
something like that.
Yeah.
I see I have 3 knives. Is that just like placeholders for other weapons?
Well, to put it simply, the asset for the FPS had 4 weapons,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to bother with removing the
That makes
so
sense. That
3
makes,
knives.
for a demo, you're saving time by doing that. And plus you get people used to like switching between like 1, 2, 3, and 4.
No,
like
I
that.
mean, like I said, the whole purpose of this game is just to have fun with the community.
Yeah, I mean, enjoying this actually.
Surprise, but
Checking
the
to see
score
if
does
it's a
not.
destructible environment.
You're hoping for too much here.
I know. Oh no. Oh yeah,
Oh.
you won, that's why. Nice.
9-4.
My KDR is 0.
Wow.
How does that
Mine
work?
is
I have 4 kills, 9 deaths. I don't think
Um,
KDR is being.
Yeah, it might have been ignoring the decimal.
Yeah, probably. That's yeah, because it was so bad. It's just like now you just die. It's fine. I'm up to do that again if you are. Just,
Yeah, for sure.
Um.
So
I'll
same
just-
process again.
Yeah, I'll just
Just
host again. Maybe somebody else will jump in while we're doing it. But yeah, so this is really cool. I like the way you guys are making your games. And are you making them to help kind of promote Isotopic in general?
well, it's sort of mutual, because you know there's the sort of strategy that a platform like Epic Games has, where they started out with their own games, Fortnite, and then built the store around that.
Right. And those games are free to play.
Yeah, but of course they still generate. I think it's up to 70% of their revenue comes from their games,
Buying
rather than
skins and other things like in-game stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and the rest is from other games sold on the store. So things like when they did that marketing campaign where they got GTA 5 on the store for free. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember that, but I remember it being on the store. I just don't remember it being free at a time. But every time they put games on there for free, I jump on, usually grab one. They had a really good one recently, actually.
Yeah, and that gets them a lot of traffic, and when they do things like that, their whole player base for games like Fortnite or Rocket League is also owned by them now.
Yeah.
So
Did
all
they
of these
buy
games
Rocket
get-
League? They didn't make it originally. Is that what happened?
Yeah, Rocket League is from a studio named Psyonix, and they sold the game around 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay. I'm hosted, by the way. You can jump in. It's guest 8489. Should probably have put a real name so you could find it. I didn't change the name. I just called it Room 4266. I didn't change the.
No, that was just not focusing.
That's fine. it's okay. Did you guys build this with Unity or Unreal? One of the
Yeah.
bigger games.
This is on Unity.
Okay. Oh, you can aim down sight. I didn't realize you could do that.
Okay. Well, that's a big part of winning.
Yeah.
If that's something that you're interested in, of course.
No wonder you can shoot.
I don't know about that.
Oh, you don't know if I'm interested in winning? Is that what you...
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't aim down sight fast enough.
But yeah, the the advertising solution here that's really the most of this game. Because the issue with, you might wonder why isn't this already the case with a lot of indie games, for example, that you see in game advertisements.
That makes sense. You want to come over here to this advertisement thing? I think I found
that was
a graphic bug. That's okay. Like I was so concentrated on. I shot at the sign, and the holes are in front of the sign instead of on the sign.
Yeah, we should fix that and see it.
Yeah, for release. I mean, for a demo, it's fine. And then when you look at it from the side, it just looks like a Dalmatian became invisible except for the spots.
There's a box colliding over it.
Oh, that's right. Well, I guess you protect whoever advertises their stuff.
We don't want vandalism. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that kind of makes sense.
Well, not really, but we can say that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good excuse.
So the reason you don't see this a lot or at all is that when you're an advertiser and you plan on getting an ad somewhere, you can pay for impressions or engagements or clicks or whatever.
Yeah.
And this doesn't really transfer.
You don't get. I mean, you could get people shooting at it, but.
Yeah. Well, how do you define when a user sees it?
Yeah, exactly. Field of view, and like most games don't track that, right?
Yeah. So our solution plans on using even AI is getting in the game here, where we take the player's position and we basically calculate like an average area percentage of the screen that the ad takes throughout time, and then we convert that to a new number that's analog to an engagement.
Okay.
Better distance.
That's interesting. That's a cool way to do it.
Yeah, so then the advertiser could, for example, pay for I wouldn't be able to tell you the metric. I think it's like pixels squared over time or something like that.
Oh, so it's the size of the advertisement that you sell, not
Yeah.
That's interesting. I kind of like that method. I heard you shoot, but I don't even know what direction you're coming from. Those red eyes just keep showing up all the time.
Yeah, hold on, I'm just using the terminal to spawn more of those. Distract you.
Wait, can you do that?
Maybe. Okay, that was a shot in the dark. I had no idea you were there.
I was just sitting up there in the tree, and all of a sudden you started shooting at me. I'm like, okay, he knows I'm here. That was pretty smart. Yeah, this is kind of crazy the way this works. So, can you talk about like what other weapons you guys have planned for this when you release? Like the full version?
I wouldn't even say we plan on releasing this ever.
Oh, it's just gonna stay a demo?
Yeah, or we might occasionally push some small updates, like with different things for the community. Again, the purpose is to have something to be able to hop on with the community whenever we want.
Yeah, that's cool. Plus, I like the fact it's like free to play and available, and it took me 2 minutes to download the launcher and the game. It was very fast.
And yeah, that's also another point. We wouldn't really sell something that's basically an asset flip.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like if you guys didn't make the assets for it, is that also something you do? Do you build assets for other games?
Yeah, we do. That's what we want to do with Laptons VR. That's also part of the reason why it's not actively being developed at the moment, as the resources are allocated located in different things. But I heard something.
I've been sitting in the house this entire time, just kind of watching you run past, hoping maybe I could get a cheap shot on you. I was testing the that method. It definitely did not work.
Okay.
A lot of jumping.
I tried to play around with you, but that didn't work.
I was like, okay, I'll get at least one 1 point this game. But yeah. They're the eyes again. They spawn often enough that they're really part of the game.
Yeah.
And if no one had explained to me what they were, they would be even spookier. Which I'd just be like, what is that? What was that? Am I just imagining things? You know. So I kind of like that. Do you have any other like spooky things you guys would have liked to add other than the bear that just comes in and swipes at you?
So the original plan for this game was to have big and since like if we go closer to one another, we are basically fully non-emissive at all.
You barely have eyes.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
The goal is for extremely low visibility and basically only being able to find out where someone is through the blood trail that they leave.
That's why it's called Bloody Winter. I get it.
Yeah.
Is this snow on the ground? I can't even tell. Because everything's so
No.
dark.
It's just winter and not snow.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's not bloody snow. That would be a different game. Do you have a favorite FPS?
I grew up with Call of Duty, but I have been more interested on more realistic games lately, so Battlefield would win these days, but I don't really
Have you ever
play
played
any
Arma?
FPS games. Not myself, but I've watched a lot of gameplay on it, and it's really an interesting game. Like,
Yeah,
I've
it takes a lot of like modding and stuff to get what you want, and
yeah,
multiplayer servers are crazy about the amount of mods you have to download. So
yeah,
I wouldn't do that unless
I've
you have
came
really good
across videos from it on social networks, and they are so realistic on the new Arma game. I distinguish that it's a game and not reality at that point.
Yeah, I saw some news channels using things from there as like, oh, this happened, and
Yeah.
it's like, no, it's a game. So you can even more easily lead like people astray. What in the world?
That was a good shot.
Thank you. I'm still surprised it worked. I did spawn behind you earlier. That was kind of weird. So like you can spawn really close to somebody sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's like
Ooh, nice.
that was very lucky.
I am right next to you. I can imagine there's no max if there are 6 people on the map.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having more than 6. Like 5 might be like insane, like really intense already, but having 6, there's no time to just look at the trees or the flowers or anything. You're just immediately fighting, which is probably a good thing actually.
Yeah, and there's also a quite big part of the map that's in the surrounding area between the trees.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
I actually got
a lot of
lost in
people
it earlier a little bit.
yeah.
Do you want me to rehost or?
Up to you. Up to you.
I'll rehost. It's interesting to talk about like kind of what you guys are looking at. And Do you guys need anything, by the way? Like, so I hosted GU 1569. Are you looking for partnerships or marketing or anything at all right now?
So we're always looking for games, of course, to be published on the platform. And really, it's all about just growing the community at this point. We want to get a significant number of games, and then through those games, more communities coming to ours, and can do more interesting events. Like we plan on doing a tournament in this game, for example, which we couldn't do because we did not have enough players to get in back then. This is also the plan we made in December, I think we posted.
Yeah, I think this would be a really fun game to have a tournament on. It's not... Oh, you can heal some. I just realized.
Yeah, there is small regeneration.
That's awesome. I was wondering why I saw you aiming over there. It was just like a shadow difference. But yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, you're planning on building a community. If you have any idea of like, so this would be one of the events you guys would do. So you have a lot of plans actually.
Yeah, certainly. Another big part of having more developers and more indie games on the platform is through game competitions and game jams. So we do this thing where for 1 or 2 weeks game developers can upload their new games, and then there's a voting period for the players, and after that we pick a winner, we feature them. There's typically a prize associated with first place, and that's a great way for interaction with the community and engagement.
Like hackathons and things like that a little bit too, or kind of?
Similar. We, for example, pick a specific theme and ask the developers to make a game in 1 or 2 weeks that fits that theme, and then the winner obviously gets their prize.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me a lot. How do I do this? Oh boy, I just made a hole in the wall. It looked like a hole in the wall, it's just a black spot.
Yeah.
So how can anybody that watches this later help out or participate? They can download Isotopic, they can download the game, they can see if there are games they like.
Yeah, for sure. All you can do is just go to the platform at store.isotopic.io and just find some nice games, download them, play them, leave a review for the developers. They are always happy to get feedback.
Oh yeah, of course.
And also our Discord server.
Just traded. Yeah.
Yeah.
And where can people see the events you're organizing?
We post our announcements on Discord. We have Twitter, or X now.
Yeah, I'm still not used to calling it X.
I don't think anyone is, and never be. Yeah, just follow us on any social media and you'll find out.
Alright, that's a really good way of doing it. And then... I can... I couldn't see you with all the red on the screen. I had like 10 health. And I was reloading at the same time, so I had to get in the way. I didn't even see you move around to the left side. That was really cool. Yeah. So you're going to make more demos like this one, like kind of multiplayer games you can use for events and competitions as well? Or is this
Um,
the last demo and everything else could be full games? Kind of what are your plans for that?
I couldn't really tell you. Like sometimes we get these um, good ideas in office and we just start immediately working on them, and that's also a good thing with being a smaller project. We just get things done. There's no
Right.
hierarchy that the idea needs to go through. There's nothing of that sort. Like even there's a topic source platform for TikTok game developers to upload videos about their games.
Yeah.
That was an idea that we had, and we started working on it the same day and had it ready 2 weeks later. Something that was not even on the roadmap. But that's one. Of course, we do have actual plans for different things. Mainly, we are about to start working on a library of assets for game developers. And through this library, they'll be able to integrate items, like weapon skins, to be used in other games. So it's a cross-game asset library.
Okay. Because I'm looking to make some games. Something I'd be interested in that side of things. It's fun. We're playing all the games you made, but we're both like, preparing new games as well at the same time. So it might be interesting to look at a version of the games I'm working on to put on Isotopic as well. I think that would be fun. Kind of
Yeah, for sure.
like that.
We can play some of your games on the next live stream.
That would take a while. I don't think we'll have a game ready until maybe March, the soonest. So
Well,
you probably have something new coming out before then, I think, right?
Yeah, I think the library I just talked about should be ready before May. Actually,
Yeah, if you want to do
that's-
an event, we could definitely get some people interested. And also, there's a gaming collective. I think I may have told you about a long time ago. I don't remember if I told you about those guys. I joined that. They're really cool. It's like 100 game founders. And I think they'd all be interested in being able to put their games on Isotopic once they've finalized them. Right now, a lot of them are looking for funding.
Yeah, we actually love working with new developers. We do things like free featuring of the games. We have a blog where we write about high quality games. We just love talking and playing about games. Definitely.
Yeah, let's
reach out.
since you're on Discord, I should invite you over there. They'll love having you there too. Probably ask you
that'd
to
be great.
do like a jump on stage sometime and talk about Isotopic and what they need to do to like jump on the platform and get their games out there. Because distribution is another problem that games have, right? You definitely solved that.
Yeah, a big problem that developers have with platforms like Steam. We've also done a survey about this, and we found that a lot of developers can end up getting less than 50% of their game sales back
Yeah.
after Steam's 30% cut and publishers and taxes.
Yeah, they
Whereas,
did all the
when
work, and then the government and the platform that they sell it on takes everything. Oh, what
Yeah.
are your fees for your fun? Whoa, where'd that come from?
So we take 8%. Wow, that was a good shot.
Thanks. I didn't expect that. I couldn't even see you when I shot because I aimed down the
Yeah,
sights. I couldn't see your.
I just saw you that slowly or fast turning around and just one-shotting me. But yeah, we take 8% on every sale, and the rest of 92% goes straight to the developer's wallet.
That's much better than most. I can't think of any off the top of my head that does anything better actually for developers. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And I know some people are going to ask, I know, do you guys ever like co-develop games or help games with funding or anything like that?
So there is also a plan for us opening our own
Sorry.
fund in the future. That's okay.
I just spawned right in front of you, and
yeah, that was a little bit scary.
I'm sorry. I got jump shot. Basically, I just clicked. I was like, oh no. Yeah. Let's jump back to where we can see each other and concentrate on what we're talking about a little bit. So there we go. Yeah, I can see you now. I have all the music in the background. I'm gonna close that. So there, it's a bit better. Hi. That was quite fun, and I like how quickly it is to be able to jump. Like, I've never played that before. I never even installed it before today, and it was really easy to jump into. So the controls are really simple. It's a really good game for events where you want just as many people as possible to jump in and be able to play right off the bat. I might have to talk with you guys about working on an FPS for our platform, based off of how fun that was and easy that was to jump into. Because for what we're working on, we want to have games that are as easy to jump into as possible, and then people compete to get the prize. Basically, is the whole goal of those games. But maybe we can develop something together. That'd be fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of the slow entering time. Well, that's not a good way to put it, but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That is that when you want to buy a game or play a game on another platform, you need to sign up. You need to enter different information. You enter the game, and again, you need to create an account. And for this game, for Isotopic, you didn't do any of those. You just installed the client, found the game, pressed download, pressed play, and then again play, and we were inside the game.
Yeah.
So that's less
it
than
literally
5
took
minutes.
4 minutes max, and I'm using my phone for internet right now. So that's really impressive. Like, I basically used 3G, download the game, play the game, and it worked really well. And what's nice about this game as well is that you don't have people yelling at each other because there's no voiceover right now. So you can just jump in and play with anybody without getting random hate or anything. And everybody's a target, so there's also no griefing. Like, you can't kill your teammates on purpose, which is a problem I've had a lot with Rainbow Six Siege, for example. A lot of people just shoot their own teammates, and then they blame them, and then the next round somebody shoots somebody else. And like, I've been the guy that actually threw C4 in a room with my teammates at one point because they were all like killing each other. And I was just like, stop it. Just blew up the entire team. Just, obviously got banned, but
it was worth it.
Exactly. It felt worth it at the time. And then like the next day being like, okay, I'll do something else. It was okay. But yeah, so there's no possible griefing because it's a free for all. That's pretty cool. How do you guys organize the like tournaments on this? Do you have a special thing on top of it that you add, or is it manual?
We'll just give a server name and then people can join. It's not really something well planned out. It's more about the experience of just connecting with the community and talking and playing, just like we just did.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I think your game, the way it's already built, is something we could integrate on our platform for prizes. But
For sure.
it'd probably be a good idea to like upgrade assets or switch assets so you don't feel like it's asset like borrowing or something. But then
we'll have to make something. Yeah.
But yeah, really fun. Honestly, like I didn't expect that to be as fun just from like the the image from the top because I didn't even look at the video before jumping in. I was and then jumping in, it was just like really cool.
Yeah, glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's not complicated. It reminds me of like duck hunting games or something in the sense because it's a shotgun. I think that's why. And then you're hunting this black figure in the dark. It's really hard
With
to
a
see.
blood trail.
Yeah, with the blood trail and with red eyes coming out of the darkness every once in a while to spook you out. It's really fun. So, looking forward to see what else you guys do in the future, and hopefully, things keep growing at the pace they're growing, maybe even faster, as long as you guys can keep up. It looks like it's going to be
Yeah,
a good year for you guys.
for sure, we will just keep on building like we've done all this time.
I'm going to send this to a few people afterwards, and do you guys need anything at all, like funding, marketing, or any help? Just more games right now is
Yeah, we are raising for private tokens and equity. That's also something that's important for us to be able to bootstrap and basically boost this development. I mean, we are good to go on building. We have an infinite production runway. We can build everything.
right.
But we do want to use some funding to help get more users, more games on the platform, secure more deals, build more games. Is something interesting where we could have different teams working on a particular game.
Do you have any games that integrate NFTs?
Um, we have basically everything you can think of already. We have about 80% of the games are Web 2 actually, so no any sort of blockchain integration. But the rest either has a token economy or some NFTs in game.
The reason I was asking is I was wondering if maybe you guys could fundraise with a game with NFTs where you could sell the NFT in exchange for funding. Just a thought. If that might be
Yeah,
something you'd be interested in.
that's also on the table. Like we do have in the back of our minds the idea of bundling a couple of games together and selling that as a collection that can be traded.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, and that would be also I guess the first sale of an exclusive or limited collection of games as tokenized assets.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's done that yet, so that would be amazing. If you ever do that, like reach out. I'll definitely pass the word on that's happening. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Thanks. I think that's good for today. And we'll definitely have to jump on some time because it looks like we're gonna have a bunch of updates from both sides to test out. It was really fun from my end. I'm really glad you're the first one I get to do to interview and talk with and play a game with on here. So it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, you sent me a message asking to play a game and talk about games, and I mean, no matter what else are the details.
All right.
So yeah,
Maybe
pleasure to be
sometime we
here.
can do like a bigger multiplayer thing with a bunch of different game creators and play not necessarily each other's games. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that's something to think about and see if some of these guys might be interested in.
Yeah, definitely.
Look, I know the conversation would be interesting for sure during the game. Like we were literally killing each other while we were talking. We were still able to hold a constructive conversation during the whole thing.
Yeah, as long as neither of us sweats or tries too hard, then the conversation can keep on going.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you. Let's do this again soon. It was great. And
Yeah, of course.
for anybody
Thanks for
watching,
having me.
definitely check out isotopic.io, right?